All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Sharp Edge News TV. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Without any further ado, I have with me the one and only editor-in-chief, publisher of SharpEdgeNews.com, High Chief Oladimeji Abitogun. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Ola. My sincere gratitude for the time you dedicate to getting us out every week, and then our deep sense of appreciation and immense gratitude as well to our audience around the world, wherever they may be. This time, we say it's good to be back with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Welcome back. Now, we have a big show today, but we're just going to do our best to stay organized as much as possible, since we only are able to come live once a week. But everybody, you're watching Sharp Edge News TV. Do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. Let your friends know that we come live every Monday and we drop a few videos during the week. Share. Tell everybody we're live here. But today, I'm sure you have some kind of a special news report from SharpEdgeNews.com for us. I'm going to play this first video, a little bit of it, and then you speak to it. Maybe you can bring us up to speed with what's going on here. I'm not sure what is going on. I'm sure you tell us momentarily. But let me play this short video, and then we'll take it from there. Hanging tight, hanging. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. 3.
From the Accountant General's office, was it released to the account of the Ministry of Women Affairs? Yes or no?
Today you have deviated. You have deviated because you did say, yes, there was release of money, and you take instruction from principal. And there and then, I confronted permanent secretary. He said he was not in the known. And I still making my statement that you are running the ministry with your minister. Both of you will be
I take exception to this. Please don't interrupt, honorable member. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt, honorable member. Please let her finish.
I am not
stop interrupting, honorable member.
She should
honorable minister, calm down. Honorable minister, calm down. Honorable minister, calm down.
Repeating what I said, because from the revelations, what's coming out is one-man show. One man show you people are doing two-man show.
Don't worry, you will talk. You will have your time. You will have your time. Honorable minister, you will have your time. You will have your time.
Yes, no fairness here. It's a trap. It's a trap, but I'm not going to jump into it.
Thank you, Chairperson.
I will not jump into the trap.
Please, honorable minister,
I fear nothing. I've stolen nothing.
Honorable minister, you will have your time to talk.
With anything. That's why I don't fear anybody. I'm not
Honorable Minister.
Honorable Minister.
All right. So I don't know. We started today with basketballs from these ladies. Who are these people? I know there's Uju. I don't know. Who is Honorable Minister among these women? What's going on?
Uju Kennedy, and then the House Committee chairman or chairperson.
Okay.
On women affairs, that must be Honorable Kasila Ogbara from Lagos, and I know her very well.
Okay,
I know her very well. See, I cannot justify the shouting match that and the intemperate crossfire exchanges that we have all just witnessed. It speaks to the caliber, the personalities who run the show in Nigeria. The shouting matches, you want to compare between that and the required decorum that is supposed to characterize the running of the hallowed business of lawmaking and the other ancillary government affairs. You will see that this really falls below the bar. Now, let me tell you that Uju Kennedy, because I really don't want to waste much time on this segment. Uju
Okay.
Kennedy may have done certain things that are really, really in breach of the law, and in terms of procurement and how you settle contractors. I mean, people who are government contractors. He may have, essentially broken the law, particularly when that House committee had the privilege of interacting with aggrieved contractors who were complaining and protesting the non-payment of their what's it called? Their outstanding bills by the Ministry of Women Affairs.
Okay.
You would, yes, she was not there, but she was seriously carpeted because what has been happening is that she picks allegedly the choice of contractors that will be settled, and even women contractors who had to go to banks to borrow sums running to like 5 million naira and all that will not be settled. Yet you say this is Women Affairs Ministry in Nigeria. And from what we witnessed, the submissions made, even by the minister herself, a lot of things were done for the First Lady of Nigeria. We don't know what has been done for the Second Lady of Nigeria. But let us ask ourselves, this introspection, so you can check the list. When I was in Nigeria, before I left in rather tragic circumstances because I needed to keep myself alive. When I was covering that ministry, there were standards. There have been times, I mean, out of the several ministers, and some of these ministers did well in standing up for the women of Nigeria. But today, can this be said of Uju Kennedy? Whatever is meant for, what's it called? The average Nigerian woman, Women Affairs Ministry, is prepared a way to take care of the First Lady of Nigeria, who is already enormously wealthy. So they cream off the poor, and then they create a ministry in the name of the poor women. All they do is to settle themselves as rich folks. Now, Kabila Ogbara, and this is really, really personal. How did I meet her? I was running my office in Lagos, and then a cousin of mine who happens to be a professional colleague, Mr. Kayode Fashua, brought her and introduced her to me. And then we were supposed to work on a project for the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, an evening newspaper in Lagos, which we ran successfully. I put in all the machinery, all the equipment to get this done. Whatever was supposed to have been the consultancy fee arrangement, nothing ever came to Reuben and Associates, the parent company of SharpEdgeNews.com. My computers, everything. And you know the sad story there. The staff, my regular staff, journalists with me, administrative assistants, and other category of workers in my establishment that got the project running, up to my two standby generating sets. I'm supposed to be a blind man. This Kabila Ogbara came into my office, bamboozled our way through some funny arrangements. That is the person that is scrutinizing troubled Uju Kennedy. But do I trust that Kabila Ogbara? Because she stole from me, and I'm saying this, if she's agreed, she should let us meet in court. This is the person I suspect this may be an attempt at just making sure that she gets settled, gets her own cut of whatever nonsense and shenanigans has been perpetrated in the Women Affairs Ministry in Nigeria. Up to the last pin in my office, she and her younger brother, one Mr. Kasumu.
And just to be clear, you're talking about Barrister Uju or the other lady?
No, about Ogbara,
Ogbara.
the lady in charge, the House Committee chairperson in charge
That
of
was
that.
the one that was checking Barrister Uju.
Yes. If she could steal from a blind man like me, a blind journalist like me, why would she not want to steal from the Federal Republic of Nigeria? So
Jesus.
this is their drama, and you see their language. Compare between the way their exchanges and the way their colleagues all over the world, lawmakers, the way they handle the business of government. You would really be ashamed. These are supposed to be mothers. Women ate each other's guts. And that is why you always find them having this cock fight. That is that about Kabila Agbara. Earlier today, I had the privilege of speaking with my good friend. Sometimes I will call him a colleague, but he is of the line sect. That is a senior advocate of Nigeria, the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice in Ondo State. And I'm glad to report back to all of us that concerning the royal umpires, the royal rumble in Ayede Kingdom, I got his assurances today that the state government is not partisan in any way. And we have really extended our click light to who is giving police protection to Olori, Fumi Oluyede, and our children who have refused to submit the remains of the departed king of Ayede Ogbese, Oba Raphael Ajibola Oluyede Isheolua II. We find out that this is not even coming from the chain of command of the Nigerian Police Force, not the Inspector General, not the AIG of Zone 17 in Akure, not the State Police Commissioner, but the area commander of Allah, area command, based in Obaile. This is the man who has decided to play the role of officials of the ancient Roman Empire, picking centuries to go and watch on the tomb, illegitimate and unlawful tomb being constructed, and the desecration of our palace grounds in Ayede Ogbese. We have made the deliberate choice to avoid any confrontation because these people are hell-bent on, and this is deliberate. In law, it will be proven that did they do it knowingly? These people knowingly, they are cultivating this avoidable confrontation with us in our community. They are bloodthirsty and they are determined to shed blood. But there are 1,000 ways of skinning a rat. And we will deploy all leadership tactics. But Mr. Kayode Ajulo, the Attorney General and the Commissioner of Justice Ondo State, Nigeria, I want to especially thank you. I want to thank the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. And I want to thank the Governor and his deputy. You guys are spectacular. You are wonderful. You are showing everybody what leadership is. Governor Ayedatiwa, the people of Ayede Ogbese should know, and royal fathers across Nigeria, Ondo State should know that Ayedatiwa does not give approval to the excesses, the recklessness, and irresponsibility of Olori Fumi Oluyede. He too does not endorse the tactics of the police, because what the police is doing in Ayede Ogbese now is to play the role of an army of occupation. They want to keep people, but let them be assured. If they drop any of our law-abiding citizens, if they kill people in our community, they shed blood because they have no role there. A police that cannot safeguard people from being kidnapped, that cannot combat banditry, that cannot stop insurgency, whether from Boko Haram, wherever, cannot deter the internal insecurities in Nigeria. It's the same one that is excited to want to go and kill people who are demanding respect for their tradition. This is what has transpired today. And let Princess Adefunto Oluyede Campbell understand that the community is not against her. But if she is installed, if you, Funto, if you are installed, you are my younger cousin. There is no problem between you and people like me or the people of Aedo. But if you are installed regent, your mother will continue with her antics of Jezebel. You are the proxies she uses to want to dominate, colonize, and subjugate our community. We say no to that. So please, the process of kingmaking has started. We are informing the people and the government of Ondo State that names of worthy candidates, any of whom could become the next king in Aedo will be forwarded in due course. Thank you for this opportunity. Our special report.
Thank you. You're watching Sharp Edge News TV. Do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. Right about now, we're just going to get into some trendy topics around the world, politics around the world. So do us a favor again, please, very, very important. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. And we'll be back in about 20 seconds. All right, Supreme Court's shocking verdict on local government autonomy. Fayose says it won't work. We want to get into that real quick. But I was hoping you'll be able to bring us up to speed with what this means. Apparently, there's some kind of verdict.
The question to be asked, His Excellency, former Governor of Ekiti State, Mr. Ayodele Fayose, is why would it not work? Why would it not work?
Let me, just for the viewers, right? Let me read a quick excerpt from pause.ng. He gave 3 major reasons. So, and then you can speak to it, and then at least please educate some of us on what this even means at all. Some kind of money access from the state government, federal, maybe help us understand it. But this is what pause.ng is reporting as far as the 3 major reasons local government autonomy won't work. It says, let me see, on Thursday, July 11th, 2024, the Apex Court ordered the federal government to henceforth pay allocations directly to the councils from the federation account. This implies that state governors will no longer have access to allocations meant for local government development. Now, number one reason why it won't work, according to Fayose, there can't be local government bosses without governors. Fayose believes the influence of state governors of the emergence of local government chairmen across the country will undermine the goal and purpose of local government autonomy. He stressed that nobody from the grassroots can become a local government chairman without the support of a governor. And I quote, "I'm not a lawyer, I am a politician, and by God's grace today, I'm an elder statesman. While I love and do not believe that any government should take local government funds, may I say to you very clearly this evening that you cannot take the baby from the mother. There is nobody that can become council chairman without a governor. Anybody telling you otherwise is wasting his time," he said, emphasizing the relationship between governors and local government bosses. Fayose said the federal government cannot take the baby from the mother. Number 2, state lawmakers regulate local government activities. The ex-governor also explained that the oversight function of the State House of Assemblies over local government councils would hamper the independence of local councils. Fayose said, "Any council chairman who says money is coming to me, I will disrespect my governor. The House of Assembly will tell you to go and disobey him inside the house. This is because you can never even be a council chairman without the governor signing up for you. The House of Assembly regulates your activities." Number 3, autonomy will encourage malfeasance in local government areas. Another reason the Ekiti politician disapproved of the local government autonomy is the perceived tendency of local government officials to skip work. He believes autonomy will worsen their already poor attitude to work. Fayose submitted that states should continue to run the affairs of local government areas because they are more effective in administrative performance than the local government chairman. He said, and I quote, "Go to the council meeting on Wednesday or Friday. You will not find 10% of the staff of the local government in the office. They don't come. My name is Ayo Fayose, and I want them to dispute this. They don't come to work. When you make moves to bring them to book, both NULGE and all leaders of the local government will go and beg the governor. They'll be telling you, we will not vote for you. This is the way we operate at the local government. The state is more effective in administrative performance than the local government. At the local government, everyone comes to collect money. Even people who have left some states. They live somewhere else and money just hits their accounts." I wanted to read that so that you can have enough to work with.
I hope we'll be able to handle this. Within the time schedule. But let me tell you.
No, you're good. Your time starts now, not before.
Yeah. Let me now, Ola. Let me tell you. With due respect, Mr. Fayose is standing logic on the head. How did local government become what? I mean, what he has just how did our local government get to unravel, become a place of ineptitude where workers will not come to work and then they get paid? In the past, of course, you were a living witness to the fact that I was a personal assistant to a local government chairman in Nigeria before. And while we were in office, the beginning of the matter that was brought before the Supreme Court, which has just been determined these days, the issue of Joint Account Allocation Committee, JAC, Joint Account Allocation Committee, JAAC. What happened was that there were some local governments that were mega in size. For example, the old Akure local government, before it was broken to Akure North and Akure South, or Lagos Island local government then. These were really big, and there were concentration of super teachers, workers, all kinds of people in this big local government. So it became so difficult, extremely difficult for the local government to be able to pay the statutory salaries every month and then still had enough money to do what you will call the one they call ongoing projects, capital projects from time to time. So overhead costs was taking much of local government funds. And there were local governments that were so small on the map and in terms of fiscal responsibilities. They had, after having taken care of the immediate overhead costs, salaries and what have you, the current expenditure, they had huge money to throw around. So in order to address this seeming fiscal imbalance, representations were made to the military administrators and federal government of the time. That was how they said there will be a pool through which the monies meant for local government allocation coming from federal accounts will be funneled or channeled through state governments. And then when this lands as a bulk, each state will now decide on what should go to each local government based on its unique needs and size of fiscal responsibilities. That was the origin. I mean, that is the origin of the joint account allocation arrangement that was in place. And you will find out that right from the outset, when this arrangement started, commissioners for special duties, local governments, and what have you, were making humongous amount of money, and they in return were settling whoever was their principal, maybe as military governor or military administrators, and that is the malaise that they carried over into civilian democracy. Since these people came, all kinds of things had happened. Supposedly, at least apart from having to serve in office with my then principal, the then the last chairman of old Accra local government, Mr. Idowu Otetubi, who recently has just been installed the big man of ICANN for Southwest Nigeria and Ondo State. See, since the coming of the current breed of politicians, they have taken the art to unimaginable and all ridiculous extent, such that hardly there are all kinds of allocations, all kinds of funds coming to local government. Part of it is ecological fund. There will be flood, there will be all kinds of disasters at local levels. You don't see this local government chairman spending anything on it just because they had sat down, or they must have sat down with governors and who have you to share what, because it's part of their loot and nobody questions them. This is what we're talking about, and all the things that Governor Fayose has articulated in a country and in a section of the country, Southwest particularly, where they had been asking for true federalism. What he has just described from what you paraphrased or what you read to our audience, could that be described as a true mirror of local government administration? We live in America. Is that the way the governor of Kansas, state of Kansas, is that the way he will be controlling the mayor of the city where I live, or the mayor of the Johnson County here? Is that the way it happens in your community in New Jersey? Certainly not. What he is describing is opposite to the way a true federation is supposed to operate. Just because things got so messed up in Nigeria, the abnormality now is what Fayose is trying to normalize.
He's trying to normalize. That's what I sense too.
Yes, it's numbing us, it's glamorizing evil as if that is supposed to be. It never used to be like that. Everybody, like Chief R. Fashionati, our dear uncle, was the chairman of Old Accra Council. You go and check with him. And even while he was doing that, he did not do it full time. He was still the principal of Olivet Baptist High School in Oyo. He still had time to plant other schools all over the Southwest. This is a man who was an old teacher to the late governor of Oyo State, Shibola Ige. He's still alive as the leader of Yoruba socio-political organization. Probably culture is part of what they also superintend. These people functioned with highest degree of autonomy. The late Chief Michael Adekunle Ajayi was chairman of our council. Things were not like this under them. Chief R. Fashionati, during one of my last visits home, described to me the enormous amount of what we call road constructions that he carried out within Akure and its environment. So whatever Fayose is describing is the new normal in Nigeria, which has become an aberration. What the Supreme Court has ruled, I believe, is more appropriate and would safeguard Nigeria's authentic federalism. Period. So begin to describe local government as the child,
as the baby. Of state. You cannot take the baby from the mother.
Honestly, that is like standing logic on his head. It's like you are saying the whole human being is the father of DNA, its building block. Yes, that's very illogical. I don't know where this kind of you see, you have all kinds of people.
The only sense I can make out of it, sir, is that he's saying, that's the only sense I can make out of it. There must be a
point at which you say enough is enough. That is what the Supreme Court has done. Thank you very much.
Right. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Let us know your thoughts on this one. I'm sure you guys will have some opinions on this. Share your thoughts and your opinions on this local government. Do you think it's a good idea, or do you think enough is enough? It's time for Nigeria to wear that big pant and stop
Yeah,
say?
he's almost
Stop.
telling us enough is enough. I come
Step,
against the thief.
step it up.
Everybody, Fayose, yeah,
Yeah.
our own dear good man, the
Yeah.
inventor of stomach infrastructure himself.
So
Uh,
let me take this last 30 seconds. I remember that there were cases when Fayose was actually praised for walking into, I don't know if it was local government offices or civil servant offices, and people would start even him as a governor, and people would not come to work. And then they start rushing in, and he would tell them, I think he told them to kneel down, or they were begging, that he was telling them that they're all fired or something like that. Do you? I think I remember some.
Probably you do. I don't recall any of such, but I remember there were times too he was threatening to jump down from the balcony of some building, and then everybody had to begin to beg him to make to.
Was he running from the EFCC? I know there was one time he was running.
He was governor. He was supposedly a governor at this time, threatening to jump down from the balcony, and then people were now. He's capable of.
He wanted to commit the ultimate S.
I do not know, but what I suspect is that he is a theatrist. He knows.
He's a dramatic person.
Yes, he knows how to. Drama king. You can call him a drama king. He knows how to dangle it behind. I mean, before the spectators and the audience, and then. That kind of traction is good for him, and the optics is also superb for political appeal. So I think that is what Fayose does a number of times.
I see. All right, do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow everywhere. Help us share. We'll be back in about 20 seconds.
More prosperity, less gas prices, less food prices, help for our veterans, and God bless our military wherever they are in these United States and abroad. There would be no wars.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
They know how to play this emotional music and get you feeling. All right. Yeah. I don't want us to get flagged for the music.
Let's make it brief.
All right.
Let's congratulate him for the fact
his nomination.
For escaping death. Only
speaking of death, just to make the presentation awesome, right? I want to play this video and then we'll talk about that, okay? Oh, this guy 2 days ago, and I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Let's go.
It comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple
probably 20 million.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Oh.
That's it.
All right, so this is the worst nightmare ever. As of 2 days ago, nobody wants this kind of stuff. There's one more thing I want to share with you before you take your commentary, right? And this is a report on Washington Post. JD. Hold on 1 second. Let me just make sure. JD Vance, the new VP, right? Is journeying from a never Trump guy to Trump's VP peak. This is according to Washington Post. The announcement caps a meteoric rise for the GOP star who went from Appalachia to the Senate and now is Trump's number 2. Okay, this guy, and I quote, okay, this was just in October 2016. I can't stomach Trump. I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him. Right now, this is a very consistent story across the board with the GOP.
Yeah, what they are saying is that he has a road to Damascus experience, that he has got some political epiphany. Now he knows what he never knew. So he got this conversion, and he's now a super MAGA. But let us first congratulate Donald Trump for escaping the assassin's bullet.
Yes.
At least that did not kill him. It's reason for us to celebrate. But again, as Americans, it's sobering that we lost a life there, and some people are still on the list. I mean, listed in critical condition in some hospitals
from that event.
Tonight, from that event, and then look at the tragedy that a 20-year-old individual, who was said to have lived through being bullied, being bullied while in high school. When he graduated 2 years ago from high school, he had so much promises and probably appeared to have been able to survive all that. All the ridicule, the humiliation he suffered for the way he used to dress. Some people said like Hunter. And this guy happens to belong to some I do not want to dignify him. That's why I'm not mentioning his name in full. Because people like that, they do not have to be given that kind of, the undesired, undeserved media focus or attention. So that does not send the wrong signals to people who have all kinds of issues, including mental, psychotic issues that will make them to want to do this kind of thing. Yes, Donald Trump may not be the finest of us all in America, but understand that, like President Joe Biden has said, there should be no room for this. And here on this platform, we condemn without equivocation what happened to Donald Trump, that shooting, that attempt at getting him creamed. We totally abhor that, and we register objection to that. And to anybody that may be nursing that kind of obnoxious, wicked, if not totally evil agenda to mess up political space. Politics, indeed, should be war without the shedding of blood. And really, it can even be made a drama without the tone of war. So everybody should tone down. That said, what do I think about how we got to that moment? You never know what could come from your advocacies at times. If people say, let us have gun control, let us have background check before assault rifles or any kind of arm, for that matter, is sold to anybody or anybody can acquire it, have you checked the level of that person, the prospective buyer of that gun? Have you checked their temperament? That could be an issue in itself, apart from all kinds of manifestos out there that drive people on edge to go and commit dastardly acts that could lead to loss of life, outright killings, murders, and domestic terrorism. This is not just the case in America, also in Nigeria, all over West Africa today, all Central African Republic, wherever. Africa is almost messed up, and America is not flooding elsewhere with its assault-grade weapons, military-grade weapons. America is not doing that. But you see what Russia is doing all over Africa with Kalashnikov AK-47, AK-45, all kinds of AKs. Yet they are not even from Akure. Yet they carry all kinds of AKs. And then they set us against each other, we get killed. So we must register our objection to this proliferation of arms, whether heavy or light. It does not matter. We do not need it. And look at all over Nigeria, because I've had sentiment from people who should be otherwise respected, like people like Rufai Husseini, almost saying, oh, this would lead to the coronation of Donald Trump. Yes, it is true in Yoruba parlance, because he loves quoting Yoruba proverbs. Must that be the case? Must that be the case that, oh, so when there is tragedy, some good must come out of it? That is nonsense at times. Why must we even say
application is wrong, eh?
It's wrong. The context is completely wrong. Okay, because they have attempted his life. Now, this is going to be an easy pass for him to the presidency. Wait until the election is conducted. Wait until we vote in America before you begin. And I've also had the sentiments from Rufai Husseini saying that this guy appears on Arise, the morning show on Arise.
Right.
He has expressed the sentiment that appearance of President Joe Biden on NBC with the anchor person there is going to be scripted. I was wondering, why is he trying to reduce America in size in terms of journalism standard and practice to what obtains in Nigeria, where there is protocol journalism? Tonight, finally, that interview here, did you see how tough the journalist was on Joe Biden? In Nigeria, if they were the obsession of being before a president is enough to kill the average or overwhelm the average Nigerian journalist, you'll be hearing words like, Your Excellency, sir, 20,000 times. Things that obstruct the flow of the text and whatever is supposed to be the issue that should occupy the focus.
Well,
you always find
belly infrastructure must be protected at all costs.
Nonsense. And then you had the Ola, what do you think of Sean Hannity? Rufai Husseini was saying that what Joe Biden should opt for appearing on Fox's Sean Hannity show. Tell me, whoever is serious that goes to Sean Hannity or the one that
to prove what point? To prove what point exactly?
That he's gonna just have a free pass with NBC. That MSNBC crowd, they are not tough. It's a Sean Hannity.
Yeah, that's like nonsense.
Yeah, and the one that talks of a no spin zone, I've forgotten his name now. Those are the ones that are tough. The Fox Pack. I'm like, what kind of journalism is Rufai Husseini preaching in Nigeria? Okay, so these are the people who inspire the way he even becomes so rude on his guests at times. I do not get it. I do not. If you understand the way America works, those are Sean Hannity people that is mentioning, Billy O'Reilly, the no spin zone guy, all of them, they are ideologues for extreme agenda in America. Maybe you should understand that these people are bigots. And Joe Biden will never appear on their show. But if he wants to go there, good luck to him. But no serious American level-headed leader goes to such shows. None. Finally, you have had the immediate reaction of Joe Biden, which was so gracious. Even initially, Donald Trump, who used to just want to reel it out and pick a fight, he toned down his rhetoric. But his son did not, before he deleted what he initially posted. What he tweeted out was to blame it, obstructing the genuine investigations of FBI and Secret Service. He was blaming it on left-wing, what's it called, liberals in America. And that no matter what, you see, a moment that all of us should be sober about. That is what he was going to use.
So you're using to perpetuate nonsense.
He was going to use it to score cheap political points. And that is what Fayose is doing in Nigeria. And there are people like him all over the place. They have very little and poor understanding of the way things work here. And then they begin to push.
I think Rufai Hosseini swears up and down that he's for the people and he's always tackling the politicians, and that's the kind of vibe I get out of him. Are you trying to say that it's all fake?
Sometimes I used to, yes, but now I know some of that is being fake. He doesn't really understand what this is about, and then they should stop coming to play to the gallery all the time. The highfalutin English, speak French. How many Nigerians speak French, by the way? So all these things. So it goes to no issue. What we are saying is that leave Americans alone to make the proper choice. Stop trying to set agenda that do not really address the issues here. What I have seen is that Joe Biden is poised for the political battle of his life. Look at him on that Let's Live interview tonight.
I'm looking at Amber Rose making a speech on the stage.
Yes. See, Joe Biden did not mince words in calling out what actually transpired. While people like Husseini, Husseini even missed some lines this morning and forgot what he wanted to say. And so I, as a young man, I felt he should have been able to have it all
to remember. Why is he acting old like Joe Biden, right?
Yeah, but he always ridiculed Joe Biden for
like old Biden,
depreciation in his cognition and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, you think it's so easy? And if it is easy, if you first lose the sight, like people like us and the late Prophet Theo Obadari, then we will respect his brain. But every day he has a script of how a good journalist must prepare. There's no problem about that. Then why should it be wrong?
Protocol.
Why should it be wrong in the case of Joe Biden? This is the point we are making. If it is good for you to be prepared,
it's a cheap shot. I guess this is a good time to make cheap shots at Joe Biden.
So this is not the defining. We still have a long time between now and the election, and nobody should even toy with the idea of political violence. We will all stay alive, express our views and our choice through our votes. This is what this is about. And finally, you saw that that judge in the concerning the matter involving the federal judge, the appointee of
the case dismissal.
Yes, dismiss the matter. You see the kind of corruption we're talking about.
So how do you feel about my predictions so far?
Clarence Thomas. You seem to Clarence Thomas laid the premise. He delivered the job. What a time to live in America.
Anyway, I think I'm going to continue to observe. Really, for me, I'm finding all of this interesting because I have my very unique perspective on how this life works. I think we're all.
Well, you are a tough business person. I am coming from the background of journalism mixed with morality, and for me, I look at utopian and ideals. But
the ideals,
like utopian and ideals. You, elements like you are about. Life in itself is such.
It's
wide ocean with its sharks and all that. And
this is a vicious, cold world that we live in.
Yes. So,
and America was built on that.
I respect your views, but at the end of the day, I think the ideals of democracy must not be allowed to suffer. We cannot.
Agreed. The ideals 100%.
Of democracy. Yes.
Yeah.
We cannot.
I agree 100%. I do think. I think if this world is full of people like me, I think that's a terrible idea too. So
Yeah,
we need.
we are, no, but you are just giving your analysis on reality. I pursue ideals, and that is not to say that you and Donald Trump are in the same class. No,
We're not. We're not.
You are one apart.
Yeah.
And thank God, with the experience, this what's it called, near-death experience that he had 2 days ago. Now he knows and is able to express gratitude to God that any of us, you drop or you
Anybody
are
can drop.
You are cream.
Let me ask you this
like
question.
You are like a piece of dust.
Let me ask you this question. Maybe in about 60 seconds, you can give me your take on this. Two-Face, our very own Two-Face Idibia. He saw the event of the last 2 days as potentially, I'm paraphrasing, pure packaging.
It could be. You don't know, but I don't want to go there. I have to give it a thought.
All right. Let's leave it there.
I gave it a thought. Yeah. It could be, and it may be not.
Because it may not. It may be not. Right. We don't know.
It may be not. We do not know. But what really got me curious? Why did they? Yes, they said if they had not killed that guy, more damages would have been done. But why did they not catch him alive? If we had caught him alive, we would know.
So what does he know that we will never know?
Yeah, if somebody was told, God, I mean, this is a script, act it out, and in order not to divulge or disclose the shadows.
My own question, Shai, is exactly how big is Donald Trump's ears?
Well,
that's a question that I personally like. I'm just curious.
I've never been up close with him, but we suspect it may be an elephantine. It could be the size of that of an elephant. Who knows? But the deal is that, thank God, he survived.
We thank God, and it should be absolutely condemned. That type of activity should be condemned. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Two-Face should be careful too how he speculates, but don't blame Two-Face. There is something American about the way he has them. I mean, he has reasoned. You know, there is that course content in American college education, critical thinking, and that is why all of us can have this mental magnitude of imagining and pursuing studies in intelligence work. And we should be broad-minded to consider everything, all angles to the possibilities on the card. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for that analysis. Let us know your thought. Like, share, subscribe, and follow. And check out this next segment. We'll be right back.
Mr. Wole Soyinka, it's nice to have you back with us after some time. We all know you as a university lecturer, a dramatist, a playwright of world class, and not in any way a politician. Do you think you got yourself involved in politics in any way before the authorities took you away some 26 months ago?
Of course I got myself involved in what was happening. I don't know whether you'd call it politics or not. I don't consider war politics. I believe war is a human problem, and I'm a human being. You're quite right to say I got myself involved, but you're right to say I'm not a politician.
President Bola Tinubu has announced the decision of the federal government to rename the National Theatre in Igomusurulere as the Wole Soyinka Center for Culture and Creative Arts. This is as Nigeria's literary colossus and global icon, Professor Wole Soyinka, marks his 90th birthday. President Tinubu described Professor Soyinka as one of the finest minds of his generation, confirming to the high standards of human enlightenment, but unyielding to justice, oppression, and base impulses. He also saluted his courage and commended him for his valiant efforts in the trenches for the nation's future, both as a pro-democracy champion and as a trenchant voice against corruption and maladministration over several decades.
All right. This is just a quick, I guess we could call it a tribute to Wole Soyinka. Wole Soyinka.
Yes. He turned 90 last Friday, July 13th. And yes, to some people, they call him Oboju Oderin Igbo. Some people call him Kogi. Some will call him, I mean, he's got all kinds, but then let me recognize and celebrate him as not just a gadfly, an iconoclast. No, he is that, he is the embodiment of the authentic African. In a continent where everybody thinks nothing good could come out, he has been out there, not just as a colossus, but you can call him the Araba, Oshe, Iroko, of all ages. Since he arrived this planet Earth in 1934, up to now, he's still standing very tall. There are times, like people have described him as journalist, as playwright, as poet, as novelist, as politician, human rights crusader. He wears this, multi-dimensional hats, and they all fit. So our own man from Ishara, Ijebu, and Abeokuta, we salute him. Now, he's had issues with people of this generation, or the Gen Z, and what have you, concerning what he described as the way they foul up social media and the quote and unquote the word fascism. But let me also put it back to our dear Professor Wole Soyinka, the first Black African Nobel laureate, that he, by contributing in the making of the gorilla, etc., is a major forebear of what we now know as the new media or social media. That is a major precursor for whatever the youth of these days are doing out there. He's impacted, he has changed the world, and you find, because some people also call him the lion, not just because he wrote the play Lion and the Juror, but just because you look at his face at times, you see that is impressive and good-looking beard and mustache, is silvery hair, to which he once wrote a poem, ode to his first great hair. See, Wole Soyinka is a phenomenon. So the spirit in him that would not keep him quiet in the face of tyranny, any kind of oppression, or unbridled stubbornness at times. He himself talks of Orikuku and all that. That is what he has impacted on generations of youths all over the world, not just Nigeria. Because if you are just talking of him in the context of Nigeria, you are really limiting him. It's like you are trying to. It's like you are bottling a leopard, or you are trying to wear a small size shoe for an elephant. Soyinka is a global phenomenon. He's a globe trottler. And a few times I've met him. Once I've interviewed him or interacted with him amongst other journalists in Abuja, like I said before. Even listening to his voice is always a treat. It's a treat. And let's talk about what people don't like talking about. I do not see Wole Soyinka, and I do not want to issue an apology on his behalf. I'm not into apologetics, no. the point I want to make is that I don't see him as a godless person. No. The fact, yeah, he himself pushes the fact of being an atheist and all that.
He does.
He's not an atheist. He talks of several Yoruba pantheons and his own darling Ogun, the god of iron, god of metal, creativity, and all that. But Ogun does not exist in abstract. And whether we look at it from a Greek religious myth, or we look at it from Yoruba's cosmos, it is just a path to the discovery of the ultimate force in nature. That is God, Olodumare himself. So you really cannot describe that. Wole Soyinka is not looking at it from the prism of his parents, his mother, whom he fondly called white Christian, his father, S.A. Soyinka, that he would also refer to, like you're talking of essay or what do you call it? Creative writing or comprehension, something like that, a composition. You know, you cannot really. That is, he chose deliberately not to follow their path in the way they embraced Christianity, but chose what his ancestors worshipped before contact with the Western Christianity or European Christians. You cannot really fault him concerning that. Let me tell you, you look at his ideals, what he has lived for. I do not know any better Christian than Wole Soyinka in Nigeria today. I do not know. It's not about wearing that collar like a dog. It's not like about answering some highfalutin titles and what have you. But in terms of what he has contributed to this world in which we live, his politics, his ideas, his criticisms, making sure that we get it right as people that has great heritage. I give it to Wole Soyinka. Yes, we may want to keep him forever. We may want to keep him forever. And let me speak about one more thing before people talk of the evil of creating the pirates fraternity or pirates confraternity, that is National Association of Sea Dogs. I don't look at it as evil in person. I'm not a member, but lately I have been digging into what these people really represent. You're going to talk of the song they came out with, the one that parodied Tinubu, when Emi Lokon, and all that. And they shake, leg they shake. Baba nowhere. They say Emi Lokon. That's a song from Pirates Confraternity. They have a way of contributing to national discourse in Nigeria. Yes. Or the one where they sang Agbado Ewa, Tinubu, you they shake this and that. All those songs and others that they have composed, just like the Kegaite cultural group all over Africa. The point I'm making is this: the fact that some other groups have risen, have risen all over African campuses, university campuses, and embraced culture of violence, does not really mean that Pirates Confraternity is part of that kind of evil pack. You look at everybody, the Ag Imokwedes, everybody that was involved in starting the movement with Wole Soyinka, they all have become huge successes in their chosen field of endeavor. So if you must criticize him, why don't you look at him from such a lens? How has he lived his life? How is he handling it? We'd love to keep him forever. In 10 years' time, if he's still alive, it will be 100 years. You see, I was in a plane with him from Lagos to Atlanta aboard Delta Airline one day like that. The energy, he probably does not even know me in person now, but the energy he displayed, the brisk manner in which he got his luggages and then was off, was amazing. Even as he was being celebrated in Abeokuta last Friday, his son came, Dr. Soyinka Jr. came and said he would have loved to be around, but he had to quickly go from some country to California in the US at 90. How many people can globetrot that way? That is the inexhaustible energy that Wole Soyinka represents. So when people try to ridicule Joe Biden at 81, maybe Rufai Hussein should be listening now. The fact that you are aging does not mean that you have nothing to contribute to this affluent world, to this world in which you have all kinds of intrigues and influences. You are still relevant. You are still relevant. So, that said, congratulations again, Professor Wole Soyinka, at 90. Long may you live. Yes, we expect to see you around for another 90 years. You can, you are such a good wine connoisseur. You can sip, take a gulp from your wine glass about that wish. Thank you, sir, for impacting our world.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, sir. That's very good. There's no follow-up to that. I think that's a fantastic way to finish today's shows. Yeah, I've learned a lot listening to you about Wole Soyinka as well. So, yeah, let's leave it at that. Thank you, everybody.
You find his prose in his poems. You find his poetry in his prose. Fantastic man. We want him around a little longer.
Forever.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody, do us a favor. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. God bless.
Bye.